So far we have covered all the basics about Git, like the terminology and how we can create an account on GitHub and how we can install the Git on local machine. So let's start with the very basic and how you can start and initiate your Git local repository from the local folder to the remote one. We will go step by step. Okay. So the first command you can see git init, right? That is mainly to initiate the local repository, right? Before you start anything, you have to initiate something, right? So this will help you to create a local repository where you can add a file, because once you will add a file in a local repository, then and then you can put on a remote site. Okay, so that is the basic concept that we will follow. So first what we will do, git init. Okay, so we are over here, right? We are in this particular folder, so I will just say right click and just says git bash, and over here you will see all the changes. Okay, so first of all I will put the command git init. So this is the command, guys. Okay, git init. I'm just making the screen a bit bigger so it will be visible for you. So git init and just hit enter. As soon as you will hit enter, you see over here it become like one folder. This is the git folder, right? So it has all the this other information. This is nothing but help us to track the information for git. Okay, and how it gonna track this information, we will see it in a while. Okay, so what I am gonna do, I will again go to my presentation and we will see the second command. It just says git status, right? So when you just apply this command git status, what it will do, it will check all the untracked file. Means untracked, that means has not added to the, I will just say, is the local staging area. Okay, so what will happen over here, we will see. Okay, but we will see it practically. So I will close this one and I will go over here and I will just say git status, right? And when I click on git status, it just says untracked file, right? Untracked file means this file has not added to the staging area. This is one of the another good example to understand. So let's we understand like this way. Okay, so git init will initiate the, I will just say, is the local repository, right? Git status will tell us a untracked file, right? And over here what we'll have, we will have couple of sections. Okay, so we will have a staging area, then we will have a local repository, and then we will have a remote repository, guys. This is how it will work. Okay, so local staging area. Okay, is it gonna be tracked, then local repo ready for commit, and then remote repository means github. Okay, so this is how we have the normal structure and how this git work. Okay, so we just check the git status, git init, right? Now if he just says git status, it just says this is the untracked file, you see. So it also asks us to use this command git add and file name to include what will be committed, right? So once you will use git add, then and then you can use git commit command, guys. This is how it's gonna be work. Okay, so what we're gonna do over here, we will use our third command, which will be git add. Okay, and how you can use git add file name, or you can just put git add star or git add dot. Okay, so I will just say git add and I will just say file name master, right? And if I just hit tab, it will give me the file name. Okay, so one of my file I want to add, right? So I will click on enter, right? As soon as I will click on enter, nothing will happen, but we can see the difference still. Okay, on the same screen, guys. I will just resize this particular size. Okay, and now if I use same command git status, you will see the difference. Git status, right? Sorry, status. And you see now it just says no untracked files. So there is no untracked file. Why it is showing this one? Because this is file I have keep it open. If I close this one, it will not show this file. This is just a copy. If you remember, when you open some file, it shows this copy like this way. But as of now, no file untracked. Okay, if I use again git status, you will see status. Yeah, you see now this file is not coming because it is open, hence it is coming waiting for change. But now it just says note untrack file in this particular location and change. You are ready to commit this particular change. Okay, and if you want to remove from cache, you can use this one, this command, git remove cache file name. Okay, to unstage. So now this is stage, right? To unstage you can use this command, guys. So git is such a way you can use all the command one by one, but now I just says this file is over here. Okay, so now when you just use this command, git add and file name, you can use file name, or you can also use dot, right, to add all the file, right? Add all the file, you can also use dot. So this is the command, git add command. It will add the stage area, right, local staging area. Now if I go to over here, I will create one more file just for our example, text file. Okay, so demo or okay, project instruction. Okay, and I will add one line, SLT learning automation. This is my one line I added. I am saving this one. I will again go to this one. So initially what was happened, when we just says git status, it shows one file which was untracked. Then we use git command, which is git add, right? This command, where it is, yeah, this git add command with file name to add the file, and then we will see git status. Now it just says nothing untracked, and this file is ready to commit. Now I have added one more file called project instruction, and if I click on this one, and now I just says git status, right? If I click on this one, it just says this is ready to commit, right? Because it is showing in green, but this is one more untracked file. You see, project instruction.txt. So this is how it's gonna be work. Now suppose if I open this file, if I open this file, right, and I make any change, guys, this is how they track the change. I will just say paste, okay, and I will just say save, and I will close this one, right? So this is how the all the changes gonna track in Git. And now you see it says green over here. It is ready to commit, but I have made some modification. And now if I do Git status now, it says change not stage committed. There is something that has been modified over here, you see. So do you want to add in a git add file and add that changes as well, or you want to add, or you want to commit whatever the latest version has been stored? Understand this concept, guys. What is happening, initially we have git add, right? So this file is ready to commit, but the last change we had a test, that if we need to include, then we need to do it git commit, sorry, git add file name again, and this is another untracked file project instruction. So now what I will do, I will just add git add and dot means all, and I will hit enter. So now it just says git add dot means all the files, and now if I just says git status, it just says this two file is ready to commit. Okay, guys. So what is the steps? First, initialize the local repository, then check the status of untracked file. To put them in a staging, you can use git add, right? So as of now this file is this area, this staging area, guys, still not in local repository. Understand this concept. Git add will add in a staging area. You can also unstage those file using the command you can see over here, right? Unstage. If you want to unstage, we will have a command over here, right? This is to unstage, means to remove from the staging area. But currently my all of those two files with the changes are commit, ready to commit. Okay, now the third option just says git commit m message, right? So it just says it's ready to commit, right? But before that, if let's suppose what will happen if I just directly go to commit, because if you're a new user, right, you might be think, okay, it's ready to commit, I can use commit command. Okay, so I'm also use these things. So I will just say git commit. Commit always come with the message. I will just say my first git commit. Okay, so this is the user defined message, and mostly developer and automation tester put like the very well defined message over here to understand their commits, what commit they have made. Okay, so my first commit, and I will hit enter. Now you just says, it just says author identify unknown, right? Means you have to provide your identity, where you want to commit, how you want to commit, right? All those things you need to set up. And for that one, it is also instructing run these two command, right? So what I will do, I will copy this one, guys. I will copy this one and I will try to put it over here. If it is get copied, yes, it is got copied. And what I will do, it just says user email, so I will use this email, right? And that's the reason I told you, right? These two things always remember, and this is my username. Okay, and now if I copy these two things, let me remove this space. So Git will give you some instruction as well if you're doing the first time. So Git commit, so you have to commit these things before you do any other activity. Okay, so I will just right click and paste it. Sorry, it just says, okay, let me remove this one, or let me write it down like this way. Okay, so my username has been taken. Now git config, let me just says global user dot email, and I will just says SLT learning with it at gmail.com, and I will hit enter. So it took that one as well, right? So both of are, because I think over here it may be some issue with the copy paste, right? That is the reason. But you see, I entered these two command, username and email, and my configuration variable has been done for the git commit. Now let's we apply the same command, this git commit m, and this my first commit. Okay, so I will again go, I will just minimize this one, I will again go, and I will just say git commit m my first commit. Okay, and I will hit enter. So it just says my commit is ready, right? Git commit master root commit has been, my first commit has been done over here, right? So now if I come to my this particular over here, my repository, if I refresh this one, right, I can see if I can see any difference over here. So no difference over here, right, guys? So why there is no difference, right? Even though I have committed this one, because we have not linked with the remote repository, guys, understand? So I have to add git remote add origin. That is the reason sometimes people make this mistake, right? This is I have committed and over here it just shows committed, right? But I cannot see anything in my master. So because you have not linked that local repository, this your local repository, with your remote repository, right? So how you can link? As you remember, I will copy this one, and my command say, right, command I have already given to you, it just says git remote add origin and git url. So I will use the same command. Okay, so I will just says git remote add origin. Okay, and I will paste the url. Yeah, so after my commit, right, my first commit on local repository, now it is got over here in local repo. Now we need to add in a remote repo, right, for a git push. But before git local, like we do on a local repo to the remote repo, we have to link them, right? How system will come to know which these two particular things, how they're gonna link? So for that one, we have to run this command first time, right? This git remote add origin and git url. We no need to run it again and again. Once you will link this local repository to the remote repository with the url, then you can put you can apply your push command, and you can push the file and you can work smoothly. Okay, so I have put over here git remote add origin, and then I will go to my repo, I will go to over here and copy this one, right? I can just paste it over here, and now I will copy and paste it on my code. Okay, so it just says git remote add origin and the url of the git repository. So command is already over here, and you need to just put the your url over here. Okay, guys, so I will just hit enter, and it just says done successfully. Now I can just do git push, then origin It says Git Push. Just hold on. I think I made a mistake. It says Git Push Origin Master. Okay. Origin Master. Over here it just says Origin Master, right? So guys, this is my mistake that I have done on presentation. I am correcting this one. So it just says not original. It just says Origin. Okay. Origin and branch name. So I will just go over here and I will just say origin and then master branch. I want to link with the master branch. Okay, and I will hit enter. As soon as you will enter, right, it will check, or if it is not the master branch, it will create a master branch on the remote, right, and it will asking you to create a pull request for master to the GitHub by visiting this one, right. So this is the our master branch that we need to create a new master branch over here. Okay, so if I will go on my branch, my GitHub, right, if I refresh this one, right, so what it is saying, it's just saying to branch, right. So it just says master branch had recent change, compare or pull the branch. So I can, you see over here, create a pull request to add, so I can compare, but this is my first one, so we do not want to compare. If I click on this one, it just says master branch. If I go to my master branch, I can see my two file. You see master file, first commit and second commit. If I open this file, it just says SLT learning automation, right. Now suppose if I go my this file SLT learning, and if I just add another line, right, Ankit Prajapati, if I'm adding this line and I want to keep a track of this one, so how I can do, I can just say git status, I just one untrack file, git add, then dot means all file, and I can just say git commit name, and I will just say modified file added one line. Okay, something like that, right. I'm adding over here commit, right. So one file change over here. Now I can, now you see I can directly push. I do not want to add remote again, because that is a one time activity that you need to do to link your local to remote branch. Okay, now I can just say git push origin master, hit enter, right. So now it will push this one file change to my origin master. You see over here master to master. If I go over here, right, if I go to back, right, it just says modify file added one line. Now you see if I click on this one, it will show me these two things. You see this line has been added. You got my point. So this is how this push command will work. So this is, so far we have checked from like how you can do from local to the remote, right. And you see versus compare and pull request to compare the files. So compare, this is the main base branch, right. If you want to compare with the master branch or not, if you click on this compare to master, it will compare. And if you want to split or something like that way, but as of now it just says both are identical file, no need to compare anything. So if I go to pull request, there will be no pull request, and I will just says this is all that we need to do. But initial level, this much of knowledge is much required, how you can push your file from over here to here. Okay guys, so I can see my two files over here. Similar way, you can send your selenium project, you can send your all the track and all those things over here. There are few more command if you see on this particular presentation, right, that will help you to git clone means something you want to clone, git branch, git checkout, git log. Let me see git log, right, how it's gonna work. Git log minus means last three. So I want to see last three commit, right, last three commit I want to see, or last three action I want to, so I can see like this way. So this is, you see, I have made the commit, I have made the commit, so I can see the commit id as well, right. This is the commit id that will help you to do the few other operations, like if you want to see the difference, if you want to merge and all those things, you can see those information with commit id. Okay, so this, those are the some advanced level of topic, but we will learn step by step. But this is how you can also see the log for the git. Okay, so now we have done from local to master, right. Now sorry, local to remote. Now how we can do from remote to local, we will see in this video itself. Okay, so let's we check about this command git clone and all those things. Okay, so suppose if I want to, this is my file, right? Now I have added this project manager had these two files for an example, right? Now the developer can, right? Let's suppose this is the developer space, developer one space. I do not have another machine, but this is developer one space. So what developer do? Developer git to git bash and just first git init, right? He has to initiate. So git init, right? So over here blank empty inventory has been created for developer. Now if you remember our chart, right? That chart that we have designed previously, this one, now manager has done this one and now he pushed, just says the commit. But now suppose this is this is what the project manager has sent from his local machine route. Now he has sent email to the developer with this url: hey guys, this is what I have created as a master project repository. You can clone to your system and start your work of coding or development. Okay, so guys, now we are talking about this part. Okay, so how developer will react? So first this is they will clone the repo to their local machine. So to replicate that one, I have created one folder, developer folder. And what I will do, I will right click and just click on git bash over here, right? So for git bash, what I will do, just do git clone, and I will get the url. I will get this url, right? And I will have these two files to my local machine. Okay, so this is for a developer, guys. Understand? So we already have this from manager orange ARM folder. So this orange, if you see over here, right? This is orange HRM folder. This is what the manager has created locally. Then he pushed to the remote. Now from remote, we are cloning to another repository which is for a developer. Okay, so git clone, right? I will just maximize this one. So git clone, then url of the repository, and then just hit enter. You see it just says cloning into orange hrm, and you see folder automatically get created. If you open this folder, right, open this folder, you can see these two files, guys. You see, so what is happening, let me put it like this way, right? So let me put it like this way. So this is what the exact the scenario that we have replicated, right? So this is the manager who has created these two files. Then he has committed and pushed these two files to the github, and from github the developer has cloned, right? The developer has cloned this file, this repository, and he got these two files to his machine. Okay, now he will work. Let's suppose he will work on this machine, right? Let's say testing or something like that. He will add, he will commit, and he will do his action. So now developer has submit modification. If I just says git status, it says, sorry, if I just says git status, sorry, I have to first say git init. Okay, and then I will just say git status. It just says this is one of the untracked file you can find. So I will just say git add dot, and similar way I can start my work. Okay, so similar way the developer can start his work from this particular machine. He can go to this one and go to git bash, and over here he can just start working on git add any changes, right? And git status, I was in the wrong folder, but now it just says git status done successfully, right? From the developer machine. Okay. And this is how you can start working, modify the file, and you can put it again to the remote. Then again, the manager wants to download, they will clone and they will fetch the file. But this is how the git and git work have worked in a real-time scenario that we have just replicated this scenario. Okay, working with multiple branch and working with multiple things that are too much advanced level of things, that as of now you no need to worry, but understand this basic command that will help you to do your job easily in automation side. These are the very much important command: git push, git clone, this git commit, and all those things. No need to go to this difference, and just have a basic understanding, not in that much, because this will not in that much. So I hope, guys, you got all the understanding about Git from scratch, how what is Git, what is GitHub, how you can install Git, how you can create your GitHub account, then what is the actual project scenario that most of the IT company follow, from project manager to developer, then developer to project manager, right? So this is what the basic knowledge you should require at initial level if you are working as a developer or if you are working as an automation engineer. Okay, there are more advanced topic in Git and GitHub, but see, when you try to jump into the automation side, right, do not overload yourself with too much technical knowledge. Just have basic understanding about tools and technology, why we use that things, and simple a command that always practice. Why we covered this one, because whenever you start learning the automation, right, I will suggest always have the Git and GitHub with you, and whatever the practicals you do on your laptop, always end of the day make the habit to push on a remote repository. Okay, that will day-to-day activity will help you to answer the interview questions and also perform in your job. Okay, hope you like this video. If you like this video, then please share to your friends or relatives who are learning the automation or who wants to know more about the Git. And please subscribe to my channel. I will come up with more such video for you guys on QA manual, QA automation, data analyst, then BA and DevOps. Then I will cover many other framework as well. Okay, thank you and happy learning.